Welcome back to In History. In today's video, where we explore the fascinating possibility that some of the most famous Greek myths might be based on real events. From the legendary city of Troy to the mysterious island of Atlantis, Greek mythology has captured the imagination for millennia. But could there be truth behind the stories of gods, monsters, and epic battles? Let's dive into 5 famous myths that may have roots in historical events. We begin with the Trojan War, perhaps the most famous of all Greek myths. According to legend, this decade-long conflict was sparked when Paris, Prince of Troy, abducted Helen, the wife of the Greek king Menelaus. What followed was a brutal war, culminating in the Greeks' use of a wooden horse to trick their way into the city of Troy, leading to its ultimate destruction. For centuries, historians questioned whether Troy ever existed or if the story was pure myth. That was until the 1870s, when Heinrich Schliemann, a German archaeologist, began excavating in modern-day Turkey. Schliemann uncovered the ruins of a city that closely matched the description of Troy, bringing the possibility of a historical basis for the war into focus. While there's no direct evidence for the existence of Achilles, Hector, or even the famous wooden horse, the discovery of Troy has led scholars to believe that the myth may have been inspired by real conflicts between Greek city-states and the wealthy, strategically located city of Troy around the 12th or 13th century BCE. The story may have been exaggerated over time, but at its core, it could reflect real history. Next, let's head to the island of Crete, where the myth of the Minotaur comes to life. According to legend, King Minos of Crete kept a monstrous half-man, half-bull creature known as the Minotaur in a labyrinth beneath his palace. Each year, Athens was required to send 7 young men and 7 young women as a sacrifice to the Minotaur until the hero Theseus arrived and slayed the beast. While the Minotaur itself is clearly a work of fiction, archaeologists believe the myth could be rooted in the real palace of Knossos on Crete. This sprawling complex, discovered in the early 20th century, was filled with winding passageways and complex architecture, leading many to think it could have inspired the idea of a labyrinth. Additionally, bulls held a significant place in Minoan culture, as evidenced by frescoes depicting bull-leaping rituals. The combination of the palace's labyrinth-like design and the cultural importance of bulls may have evolved over time into the legend of the Minotaur. One of the most enduring myths of ancient Greece is the story of Atlantis. First mentioned by the philosopher Plato, Atlantis was described as an advanced civilization that sank beneath the ocean in a single day and night, lost forever to the sea. For centuries, people have searched for the lost city of Atlantis, with theories placing it everywhere from the Mediterranean to the Caribbean. However, one of the most plausible explanations links Atlantis to the island of Thera, now known as Santorini. Around 1600 BCE, Thera was home to a thriving civilization until it was devastated by one of the largest volcanic eruptions in human history. The eruption caused much of the island to collapse into the sea and triggered tsunamis that affected nearby areas, including Crete. The sudden destruction of this prosperous society could have inspired the tale of Atlantis, with Plato's account serving as a reflection of the real-world disaster that wiped out an entire culture. The Oracle of Delphi was one of the most important religious institutions in ancient Greece. According to legend, the oracle was a priestess who could communicate with the god Apollo, offering cryptic prophecies to those who sought her counsel. For centuries, people believed the oracle's powers were purely supernatural. However, modern studies suggest that there may have been a scientific explanation for her trance-like state. The Temple of Apollo at Delphi was built over a geological fault, and recent research has shown that ethylene gas, a naturally occurring substance that can induce euphoria and hallucinations, may have been present in the area. This means the oracle's prophecies could have been influenced by the effects of the gas, offering a real-world explanation for her mystical visions. While her role as a conduit to the gods may remain in the realm of mythology, the oracle's influence on ancient Greek politics and society was very real. Finally, let's talk about the Amazons, the legendary race of warrior women. These fierce female fighters appear in several Greek myths, including the stories of Heracles and the Trojan War. The Amazons were said to live in a society where women ruled and fought in battle alongside men, often with great skill and bravery. For a long time, the Amazons were considered purely mythological. However, archaeological discoveries in recent years have unearthed the graves of women buried with weapons, leading some scholars to believe that the Amazons may have been based on real nomadic warrior women from the Scythian culture. The Scythians, who lived around the Black Sea, were known for their horseback riding and archery skills. Women in Scythian society often fought in battles, and some were buried with their weapons, indicating a level of respect for their combat abilities. While these women may not have been exactly like the Amazons of myth, their existence suggests that the stories of warrior women could have been inspired by real-life female fighters. Greek mythology is full of larger-than-life stories, but as we've seen, some of these myths may have been inspired by real events and historical people. From the Trojan War to the lost city of Atlantis, the ancient Greeks used storytelling not just to entertain, but to explain the world around them. As we continue to uncover new archaeological evidence and learn more about the past, it becomes clear that the line between myth and history is often blurred. Thank you for joining me on this journey into history's greatest mysteries. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below on what ancient mystery you'd like us to explore next. Until next time, keep seeking knowledge. See you next time on In History.